आचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। So we are in the 4th chapter. Totally there are 6 chapters divided into 3 kandas. The first kanda is called Madhu Kanda, consisting of first and second. Then the second kanda is called Muni Kanda or Yajnavalkya Kanda. It is called Yajnavalkya or Muni Kanda because here Yajnavalkya Muni is the main speaker, main teacher. Third chapter and fourth chapter, both Yajnavalkya is the main teacher. But the difference between the third chapter and the fourth chapter we saw yesterday. In the third chapter, Yajnavalkya is there as Vadi, a contestant, answering the contenders who wanted to win the prize, who challenged this Muni Yajnavalkya. So there the dialogue was in the form of Jalpa. Technically it is called Jalpa. Jalpa means a dialogue where winning or getting the winning and defeating others. I want to win and I want to defeat others. That is more important. I want to avoid defeat and I want to win. Jaya Prarajaya Pradhana Katha Jalpaha. And there somehow I want to establish my view. That was Jalpa. And now in the 4th chapter, the form of dialogue is called Vadaha or Samvadaha. Samvadaha means a dialogue between the student and teacher. Vadaha means dialogue between two students who have studied and they are doing the discussion. And the purpose is not to win. Purpose is to arrive at the truth. That type of discussion is called Vadaha. Tattva Bubutsoho Katha Vadaha. The discussion among the seekers of truth. That is called Vadaha. And the other one is Samvadaha. The dialogue between the student and teacher. Where teacher is interested in revealing the truth and student is interested in understanding the truth. So his 4th chapter is having this Samvadaha, where Yajnavalkya is teaching as the teacher. And then we had seen in the 4th chapter, these 6 Brahmanas are there. First Brahmana is Shadacharya Brahmana, where the view of 6 Acharyas were presented in the form of Saguna Brahma Upasana. Then we enter into this second Brahmana, where Kurcha Brahmana, where Yajnavalkya talked about Chatushpad Atma, Avasthatraya Viveka and arriving at the Turiya Atma. And the Gnana Phalam was presented as the person remains asangaha and person becomes free from fear, abhayam praptaha. Then the Tritiya Brahmana, which we were discussing at the end, and that is called Jyoti Brahmana. And Jyoti Brahmana has got 3 topics: revealing the nature of Atma, describing the samsara with the example of Swapna, and describing the moksha with Sushupti Drishtanta. These are the 3 topics. The first topic, let us see a little bit in detail, and that is revealing the nature of Atma. And in this Brahmana, Atma is revealed as Swayam Jyotihi, self-effulgent. In Shastra, Atma is presented with the help of 2 examples. One is Akasha, other is Prakasha. Both Kasha only. Root is same, Kash Dhatu. Akasha means space, Atma is like space, and Atma is like Prakasha. In fact, Shastra sometimes does not use the word Atma is like Prakasha. Shastra presents Atma as Prakasha. The word Prakasha is used in the form of Jyotihi. The idea of light is conveyed by the word Jyotihi. Atma Jyotihi. You might have heard this word, Chit Jyotihi. So Jyoti means light, and Atma is compared to light. And sometimes Atma is metaphorically presented as light. It is a very good example to convey what the nature of Atma is. Just as light is self-effulgent and makes everything illumined, similarly Atma makes everything illumined and itself is self-evident. To convey this idea, this example of light is taken. But what happens? Because of this example, some wrong orientation is set in. What is the orientation? People took this idea of light literally, and they think that Atma is something bright light, and therefore they will be expecting some experience of light in the form light which is Atma. So they want to experience Atma in the form of light, and therefore they will be doing meditation only, sadhana, because study of Shastra will not help. Therefore they will do this lot of meditation, and they will be expecting light. And sometimes if you press your eyes, then also light will come. Swamiji is told that. And then you will feel that I got the experience of Atma. And there is a psychology that if something you are waiting for long time, then you will get hallucination of that. Have you experienced this? When you are waiting for somebody, then you will hear the bell, even though person has not come. Have you experienced this? It happens. I have experienced this. That the bell has not rung, but you are waiting for the person, so you hear the bell. Hallucination. In fact, it happened 2-3 times. So I got a doubt whether I am okay. So I asked really one psychologist, I asked him, this type of thing sometimes happens, is it okay or is considered abnormal? He said, no, it is quite normal. Every now and then we should check our sanity, you know. So I did. So what I want to say, that when you are waiting, then it will happen. If you are waiting to experience Atma in the form of bright light, you will definitely experience after a few sessions of meditation. And you should sit for a long time. You will experience. Because that is how our mind is. Mind wants to be free from meditation. It doesn't like to meditate. And therefore, if it projects light, then you will be happy. Then you can say, I am realized now. And then you can celebrate your realization day also. There are people, you might have heard that there are some people, the realization day is celebrated. All these things happen, you know why? Because Atma is said to be light. And these people have taken very heavily, not lightly. They have taken it very seriously. So one needs to know that Atma is light is a figurative expression. And we have to understand the meaning of light properly. What is light? Light is that in the presence of which something is known. Light is that in the presence of which something is known, illumined. Like this is called light. Why? In his presence, things are illumined. Therefore, it is called light. Tube light, or bulb light, or LED light. We have got so many light. So, all external light are called light because in their presence something is illumined, something becomes evident. Then we have got another light called Chakshur Jyotihi. Our eyes are also called light. They say Chakshur Jyotihi, Netra Jyotihi. Why? Because in the presence of these eyes, the forms and colors are known. Therefore, Chakshuhu Jyotihi. Generally, we connect this Jyotihi, light, with the Chakshu only. But our ears also can be called light. Even though they are not bright, but that is light. Why? But in the presence of ears, sound is illumined. Sound becomes evident. Therefore, ears are also Jyotihi. My nose also is Jyotihi. My tongue also is what? Jyotihi. The skin all over the body also is Jyotihi. Tvak Jyotihi. Without cream also, your tvak can be called what? Jyotihi. So people think that only when we put some cream and become bright, then only Jyoti. Tvak Jyotihi. Similarly, our mind also is Jyotihi. Mano Jyotihi. Why? In the presence of mind, the objects are illumined. Today we saw in this Kena Upanishad class, if mind is not there behind, ears cannot hear. So mind also is a contributor to the illumination of things. And Anuman also is used by mind. So mind is Jyotihi because in the presence of mind, with the operation of the mind, things are known. And what is our definition of light? Light is that in the presence of which something is known. So, Mano Jyotihi. External Jyotihi, Bahya Jyotihi, then Indriya Jyotihi, then Mano Jyotihi. External light is meaningful only when there is Chakshur Jyotihi. The sun shines because my eyes shine. My eyes shine because the mind shines. Now, up to this we can go by our logic. We ourselves can understand. Now, Shastra is revealing one more dimension, and that is, my mind shines because the consciousness shines. And that consciousness is called Chaitanya Jyotihi. And that consciousness is the true nature of Atma. This consciousness I am. That is revealed in this Brahmana. That is why this Brahmana is called Jyotir Brahmana. And this consciousness is the Atma, and consciousness is there, is revealed with the help of Swapna Drishtanta. And here this Brahmana starts with the question, Kim Jyotirayam Purushaha? This person is having which Jyoti? Kim Jyotihi Asya Purushasya Sa Purusha Kim Jyotihi. What is the light of this person? Means with the help of which light a person does all transactions. Then if you remember, Swamiji had explained this, that when this question was asked, then Yajnavalkya answered, Aditya Jyoti. Sunlight is there. Because of sunlight you are able to transact. When sunlight is not there, then what is the Jyoti? Moon is the Jyoti. When moon is not there, what is the Jyoti? Fire. Fire is not there, Vag Jyoti. By the words also you can be directed. But when all these are resolved in Swapna Avastha, that time, what is the Jyoti? There also things are illumined. In the Swapna, what is the Jyoti? For that, Yajnavalkya said, Atra Atmana eva ayam jyotisha aste. So here in Swapna, consciousness, which is Atma, alone is the light. By the light of consciousness alone, everything is illumined. Because external lights are not there. Organs are also not functioning. Still things are illumined. Then what is the Jyoti? Atma Jyoti. So Swapna becomes a place to appreciate the presence of Atma Jyotihi, the light of Atma, light of consciousness. Why Swapna we are taking? Why not Jagrat? Because in Jagrat Avastha, the external light is there, organs are also functioning, and therefore we will not be able to appreciate the contribution of Atma Jyoti. We think that things are illumined because of external light, because of the light of the organs, and therefore this Swapna Drishtanta is taken to show that Atma alone is illumining everything. And once we have understood with the help of Swapna Drishtanta, then we can extend it to Jagrata Avastha also. In Jagrata Avastha also, consciousness illumines the mind, and that illumined mind is capable of illumining the sense organs, which are capable of illumining the objects. Therefore, Pujya Swamiji used to say very nicely, the sun shines because the eyes shine. The eyes shine because of the mind shines. Because the mind shines. Why the mind shines? Because I shine. Now question is, why do I shine? I shine because I cannot but shine. Shining is my nature. So people ask this question, that mind is illumined by consciousness. Consciousness is illumined by what? Consciousness does not require any other illuminator. Any other illuminator is not possible. Why? Because consciousness cannot be illumined by this world. Because world is inert. Consciousness cannot be illumined by the organs, because organs themselves are inert. By themselves they are inert. They are becoming luminous because of light of consciousness. Therefore, the world cannot illumine consciousness. These organs cannot illumine consciousness. That's what we have been studying in Kenopanishad. Yena Vagyanabhyuditam Yat Chakshusha Pashyati. So, organs cannot illumine consciousness. Then some people say, Swamiji, how about another consciousness illumine this consciousness? This consciousness is illumined by another consciousness. Then our answer to that possibility is that what about that second consciousness is illumined by what? Then you have to say what? Third consciousness. Third is by fourth. There will be anavastha, infinite regression. Somebody say, how about this consciousness illumine that consciousness, and that consciousness illumine this consciousness, scratching each other's back, That will be called anyonyashraya. And when there is anyonyashraya, means mutual dependence is there, then it cannot be considered to be reality. So none of them will become self-luminous. And if none of them is self-luminous, then it cannot illumine others. There should be a fundamental source which is illumining the subsequent source. And therefore, this consciousness illumines all and not illumined by anyone. And that consciousness is the nature of Atma, and that Atma I am. This is the first teaching given in this Brahmana. I am consciousness, and consciousness is self-luminous, illumining others. And in understanding of Atma, this is one of the important steps. I am consciousness, if you have understood well, then subsequent aspect of Vedantic teaching will become relevant, will become clear. Therefore, Pujya Swamiji, whenever he talks about Atma, he talks about Atma as consciousness first. Even though When we describe Atma, how do we say? Satchidananda. But even though Sat Chit Ananda, but generally we start with what? Atma is consciousness. And that is derived by Drigdrishya Viveka, and then we say this consciousness never ceases to be. Therefore, consciousness is Sat. Existence is nature. So, I am consciousness and existence is my nature, therefore, I am Satchit. And I, existence consciousness, do not have any limitation of time, space and object. Therefore, I, Satchit, am Ananta. And Ananta alone is Ananda. Therefore, I am Satchit Ananda. So, this is what we have been telling in Vedanta. Satchidananda, Satchidananda. In fact, in North India, they have got bhajans also. Satchidanandoham, Satchidanandoham. So, they sing bhajan, but the meaning we have to understand. Bhajan also is okay. Generally, Puja Swamiji said this type of bhajan should not be there. It's not meant for bhajans. So, a bhajan, it should be Hare Rama, etc. But some people like this. They always like Vedantic thing. Singing bhajan, but understanding is important. All right. Then second, the part of this fourth Brahmana is presenting samsara. How this Atma has got samsara. And that samsara is explained with the help of dream example. Yesterday we saw that in dream we enter and identify with the body, with a particular body and the people who are related to that body. And we have got sukha, dukkha, we have got ups and downs. But when we wake up, what we understand? All of them are just superimposition upon me. I am the adhishtanam of all of them. So Vedanta says, similarly, this Jagrat Prapancha also is like that. You are identifying with this Mithya Anatma as Aham and Mama, and then you have samsara. So how your samsara can be explained? It can be explained with the help of Swapna Drishtanta. Just as that you are free from all the dream problems, but because of identification you assume that you have problems. Similarly, you are free. You are Satchid Ananda, you are free. But because of the identification with Jagrad Avastha, Mithya Anatma, you have got samsara. That was the second point. The third point highlighted is moksha. How moksha can be explained? Moksha can be explained with the help of Sushupti. So Bhagavan has really given us all Vedanta teaching in a miniature form. What is bondage also you can understand. For that Swapnavastha is there. And what is moksha, if you want to understand, then for that Sushupti also is given. In Sushupti what happens? Sushupti means deep sleep state. In that, I drop my identification with Sthula Sukshma Sharira. I drop this adhyasa of kartrutva and bhoktrutva, doership and enjoyership. And therefore what happens? I remain free from samsara. Therefore everybody likes Sushupti. Deep sleeps they like. Even class, compared to class, Sushupti is better sometimes. So people fall asleep, they don't want to compromise with sleep. So Sushupti is the example for moksha. How it becomes example? When you are free from the identification with Anatma, you are free. The identification with Anatma makes you bound, as it happens in dream state, and freedom from the identification with Anatma makes you free, as it happens in Sushupti. And this moksha was further explained by saying that this moksha is Ananda Swarupaha. Moksha means owning up oneself to be Ananda. And mokshananda is not experiential happiness. It is owning up oneself to be fullness. And that fullness alone is the basis for all experiential happiness. That was presented here in the 32nd mantra. एषः अस्य परमः लोकः एषः अस्य परमानन्दः एतस्यैव आनन्दस्य अन्यानि भूतानि मात्राम् उपजीवन्ति. Everybody is experiencing this objective ananda, Vishayananda. That Vishayananda is just a fraction of this Purnananda, Atmananda, Swarupananda. So, the vision of Vedanta is that whenever you are experiencing this happiness from the objects, that is nothing but manifestation, a fractional manifestation of this your Swarupananda only. Then somebody says, Swamiji, so why should we study Vedanta? Vedanta also gives us Ananda, and the Vishaya Bhoga, the experience of objects, also gives us Ananda. Then both are same. You go to lecture hall, I go to dining hall. So both of us will get Ananda. dining hall मध्ये अपि आनंद अस्ति. Lecture hall also Ananda. Lecture hall sometimes boring also is that sometimes we don't even know which page Swamiji is reading. That's why even Sudiptaji every now and then in the beginning he tells this page. Afterwards he doesn't tell. But sometimes page is turned so because of fan. So you don't know where. Anyway, so question would be there that if Vishayananda also is Atmananda, and Atmananda of course is Atmananda, Vedanta will help you to own up Atmananda, and Vishaya Bhoga will help you to attain Vishayananda, which is manifestation of Atmananda only. Then why should we go for this? So one answer is that Vishayananda is dependent upon so many factors. It is anityaha, it is temporary, and it is dependent on so many factors. It happens that you thought that today I will get laddu, and when your turn comes, laddu is over. Or in that laddu some stone came. So it's possible. So generally it will not happen, but by chance it happens. Or when you were eating laddu, some the fly etc. came, on that only sit there and died. So laddu ananda gone. Or when you were eating laddu, that time somebody shouts, why are you sitting here? Laddu ananda gone. So imagine, your Vishayananda is dependent on so many factors. And even if it is attained, it is temporary. Because you know what is the phenomenon of experiencing this happiness? When your mind is relatively calm, free from this demanding I, free from so many anxieties, desires, temporarily all those anxieties, all those concerns, all those conflicts are resolved, suspended. Not really resolved, suspended. That time mind gets a particular state, disturbance free state, and in that this Purna Atma is reflected, and that is experienced by us as happiness. So it is a very precarious condition, means with so many factors it is with great difficulties brought in, and then it goes away very fast. Immediately you are eating laddu is over. Then afterwards you have to eat this boiled vegetable. So again, because that also you have taken, gone. Thus first thing is anitya, second thing is conditional. And third is, it is very fractional, very, very little compared to this Purnananda. Whereas this Atmananda, which is owned up through knowledge, is Nityaha. It remains with you. Whether there is experientially conducive situation or non-conducive situation, I am Purnaha, that owning up of Ananda continues to be there. Puja Swamiji used to say very nicely, this Ananda is owned up so much that even though there is tears in his eyes, in the eyes of a wise person, because of seeing somebody's pain, but the appreciation that I am Ananda, that doesn't go away. I am Ananda, which is there in the background, doesn't go away. And therefore, this owning up of Ananda through knowledge is highlighted in our Shastra. Thus, third topic was moksha through Sushupti example, and it was presented as Ananda Swarupa. And to show that this is the highest Ananda, Ananda Mimamsa also was presented in this Brahmana. So with this Trutiyam Brahmanam, which has got 3 topics, is concluded. In fact, so many mantras are there and some good mantras are there, but just we have to go to the next, because now we are nearing the end. So we will go to the next Brahmana, 4th Brahmana, which is called Shariraka Brahmana. Shariraka Brahmana has got 25 mantras, and it has got 5 topics. The first topic is description of samsara in terms of punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam. That is the first topic. We will see elaborately, but just let me give the topic. So first topic is Janana Marana Rupa Samsara Varnanam. The description of samsara in terms of cycle of birth and death. That is the first topic. Second topic is Moksha Varnanam. A description of moksha, similar to the previous Brahmana. And here moksha is presented in the form of Jivan Mukti, Kama Nivrittihi. Jivan Mukti means freedom while living and freedom from all binding desires. That is second topic. Third is Jnana Mahima, the glory of knowledge. Very beautifully presented, that this Jnanam makes your life meaningful. If Jnanam is attained in this life, your life is meaningful. If it is not attained, Mahati Vinashtihi. Similar, which is going to come in Kenopanishad also. Then the fourth topic is Jnana Sadhanani, the means for Atmak Jnanam. They are presented in the form of Ashrama Dharma, following the duties as per the stage of life. And it is in the form of Veda Adhyanam, study of Shastra, Tapaha, austerity, and moderation in food, and Dhanam. These 4 sadhanas are talked about. Veda Adhyanam, Yajna, Tapa, and Dhanam. These 4 sadhanas are presented for Chitta Shuddhi. And then person outgrows the need for Grihasthashrama and enters into Sannyasashrama. At least one develops the spirit of sannyasa. So sannyasa also is presented as sadhana. So that is the 4th topic. And again, Jnana Phalam, the result of Jnanam, is presented in the form of Purnatvam. Very beautifully presented. When you have attained this knowledge, then there is no fear of up and down. Na karmana vardate, we will see that you don't go up and down. This samsari is a yo-yo, all the time up and down, up and down. So that is not there, and he is free from all desires. He is free from ups and downs. So these are the 5 topics presented in this 4th Brahmana. Now let us see a little bit in detail. First topic, as I said, Samsara Varnanam, in the form of Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam. And how this cycle of samsara continues. There is very beautifully presented in the 5th mantra, Ayam Purushaha Yatha Kamo Bhavati Tat Kratur Bhavati Yat Kratur Bhavati Tat Karma Kurute Yat Karma Kurute Tad Abhisampadyate. Very nicely chain is given. He says, this Purusha, this Jiva, Yatha Kamo Bhavati, becomes endowed with some desire. And based on desire, he will have sankalpaha. Kratuhu means sankalpa, adhyavasaya, nishchaya. Suppose I have a desire for going to some pilgrimage center, or desire to go to Himalayas or some place. Desire. So desire has been there, but resources are not there, time is not there, so desire is remaining. And when time comes, then sankalpa. Now this vacation I am going to book the ticket and I am going to visit. Nishchayaha. And then what? He does that karma, he goes for the trip, and then he attains the result. Similarly, he has kama, he has got nishchaya, he has got karma, and he gets phalam. Sometimes drishta phalam is visible result. Sometimes adrishta phalam punya papa. So he gathers so many punya papa based on various desires and sankalpaha, nishchaya. And because of this desire and punya papa, he continues to have this cycle of birth and death. So what happens at the end of his life? He will have so many punya papa still continuing in the sanchita account. From sanchita account, some prarabdha will be carved out. And he is now ready for that next body. And that next body is decided by the punya papa and also his samskaras. These strong desires, both are governing. And based on that, he will get next janma. And here in Shastra, a very beautiful thing is, very interesting thing is told, when a person is going to die, then before death itself, he will be getting some dream indicating his next janma. That is only based on Shastra. So now whenever you get dreams, so don't worry about it. It may be, may not be. But Shastra says that these hints are given to the jiva for the next body. So when jiva leaves this body, that time itself, generally, next body is planned. So how when we vacate this house, we always fix the new house. We don't vacate this house without fixing the new house. Similarly, for jiva, this house is left, and that time or before that, the new house is already planned. And they give the example of that Truna Jalayuka, that one particular insect is there, it leaves the previous leaf completely only after holding on to the next leaf. So it goes from one leaf to the other leaf, and it leaves the previous leaf only after having hold on the next leaf. So similarly, jiva is always does advance booking. So how we do advance booking? See, camp we advance book, this show we advance book. Similarly, this advance booking happens. And that is how jiva continues. And he carries his karma bag and he carries his samskara bag. Purva prajnacha. That is a very popular vakya. Tam vidya karmani savanvar abhete purva prajnacha. Vidya means his knowledge he carries. Then karma, this punya papa he carries, purva prajna, and certain samskaras of the bhoga, phala bhoga janita samskara also he carries. So three things, certain jnanam, the jnanam in the form of samskara, and karma, and the bhoga janita samskara. Therefore, some people from the childhood they would like certain things. And some people will not have inclination, but some people will be going for music. Some people will be going for dance. So that is purva phala bhoga samskaras are there. So we carry our baggage. How when we live, you will have baggage. Similarly, we carry our baggage. And with this baggage, Jiva continues to have samsara. That was the first topic. Then the second topic is Jnana Phalam in the form of moksha. And that is beautifully presented as Kamana Nivrutti. He becomes free from Kama. Yada sarve pramuchyante kama yesya radishritaha athamartyo mruto bhavati atra brahma samashrute. When Jiva is completely free from Kama, then there is no basis for next Janma. And therefore he is resolved, is Sukshma Sharira, Sthula Sharira, everything is resolved. But all Kamas will go only when knowledge comes. So when the knowledge is there, freedom from Kama is there, and therefore there is no basis for the continuation, and therefore atra sabashrute. And even when he is alive, Jivan Mukti is described. What will be his disposition, that is beautifully presented by the example. Example of the snake skin. The skin of the snake, sometimes the snake will be casting off its skin and it will remain there. Wherever snake is staying in that anthill, etc., it will be there. So earlier the skin was the part of the snake. Now it leaves the skin, then it does not have this aham mama bhava. If somebody takes away snake, will not be angry with that. If somebody takes away the skin, some people like it, so it takes away. Snake doesn't have any abhimana in that. Similarly, wise person lives with this body, sthula sukshma sharira, like that snake. Just as the snake does not have aham mama bhava, the identification with that skin which is cast off, similarly the wise person does not have abhimana with sthula sukshma sharira. And because of that abhimana nivrutti, freedom from abhimana, the wise person remains free. So wise person does not conclude about himself based on the condition of the body and these sense organs and the mind. Otherwise what happens? We have got complexes based on the body. Body is looking fat, I am fat. So some people, when they picture, photograph, they try to squeeze in the stomach. And so they will tell you, take photograph very fast because how long I will squeeze it? Why? Because I don't want to look fat. So this is complex. Similarly, I did not understand certain things, but people should not know. Therefore we say, yes, we say. Try to hide it. I understand Swamiji, but I cannot speak. See, that's a nice way of saying. I understand, but I cannot speak. So how will I understand that you have understood? But still, that's how we manage sometimes. So, wise person is free from that particular complex. I remember, I think must have said this, Pujya Swamiji, when he came to Rishikesh in 1991 or something, bringing the course student. That time, at the end of one session, instead of saying Purnamada Purnamidam, he says Brahmar Padam Brahma Havi. Really, and at the end, then he understood, this happened. Then if somebody else, though the teacher, new teacher is there who has not Nishtha, he will be a little feeling embarrassed, no? See, I am the teacher, Vedanta teacher, and I should do Purnamada and I am doing Brahmarpanam. No complex at all. Swamiji said, do you understand? No, that Swamiji is hungry now. That's all. Very, very simply handle it. That's what it is. Based on the activity of the sense organs or mind, no complex. Puja Swamiji, very important thing told to all Vedanta students in one of his, in the valedictory of the course. He says, do not decide about yourself based on the feelings. You are feeling sad sometimes, don't say I am sad Swarupa. I am not, I am Sat Swarupa, not sad Swarupa. So, I am of the nature of sadness, don't conclude. Because feelings are not pramanam. Very beautifully said. Based on feelings, do not conclude about yourself. Because feelings are not pramanam, Vedanta is a pramanam. What you are to know, Vedanta is a pramanam. So that is called disidentification from the body, senses and the mind. And because of that, the wise person is free. Then the third topic, that was the second topic, Jnana Phalam. Third topic is glory of self-knowledge. As I said, self-knowledge alone is the means for moksha. And that is beautifully presented in a very popular mantra which is commented upon in Panchadashi by 250 shlokas. And the shloka is Atmanam ched vijaniyat ayamasmiti purushaha kimichan kasya kamaya shariram anusanjvaret. When a person knows oneself, Atmanam vijaniyat, how? Ayam purushaha, this Purna Paramatma, aham asmi. I am this Paramatmakhya Purushaha. I am this Paramatma. In this manner one knows, then kimichan, desiring what? For whose sake he will identify with the body and suffer. Means he becomes free from the identification, he becomes free from the pressure created by desire. And another way this glory of self-knowledge was mentioned, Iheva santaha atha vidmaha tadvayam nached avedihi mahati vinashtihi. He says, remaining in this body itself, let us know. We know. If we don't know, then mahati vinashti. There is a great loss. Why great loss? Because gain would have been infinite, and that gain did not take place. Therefore, the loss is infinite. And another way of seeing this mahati vinashti is janana marana lakshana mahati vinashti. The great loss in the form of perpetuation of samsara, that was presented. Ye tad viduhu amrutaha te bhavanti. Those who know this reality, they own up immortality. Atha itare dukkham eva apiyanti. Other people remain in dukkha rupa samsara. In this manner, the third topic, Jnana Mahima. Jnanam makes your life meaningful. If you get Jnanam, your life is meaningful. If it is not attained, life is meaningless. And here we put a note. Even if you did not get Jnanam, but if you started in the pursuit of Jnanam, and you got some progress in the form of attaining Chitta Shuddhi, Chitta Naishalyam, that also is worthwhile. If you got even this much, Chitta Shuddhi, Purushartha Nishchaya, Pujya Swamiji used to highlight this. One gets this, that this alone, Jnanam alone is the means for moksha, and I will work for Chitta Shuddhi, Chitta Naishalyam to attain Jnana Yogyata. I will get Jnanam. Even this much comes in this life, then also life is meaningful. Either you got it or at least you started getting it. Your life is meaningful. The fourth topic is the Jnana Sadhana. And here one popular mantra is there, Manasa eva anudrashtavyam. This Atma is to be seen with the help of the mind alone. Now we will have confusion because yan manasa na manute, in the morning we heard this, and now afternoon you are telling manasa eva anudrashtavyam. How do we understand? How do we reconcile? One place it is said, by mind this Atma is not thought over. And here he says, Manasa eva anudrashtavyam. With the help of the mind alone it is to be seen. This is resolved in different ways. One simple way is that asamskrutena manasa na anudrashtavyam. If the mind is not exposed to the teaching of Shastra and Acharya, then mind cannot understand this. Mind cannot understand by objectifying through sense organs. That is the meaning of Kena Upanishad statement. Yan manasa na manute means the mind cannot objectify Atma. That is the meaning. And here, manasa eva anudrashtavyam, what is said, that mind when it is exposed to the teaching of Shastra and Acharya, then with the help of this mind, Atma is understood as oneself. Paramatma is understood as oneself. Therefore, there is no contradiction. Manasa eva anudrashtavyam. Alright. And here one incidental thing is told. Tameva dhiro vignaya pragnam kurvita brahmanaha nanudhyayan bahun shabdan vacho viglapanam hitat. Shastra study is very important. But one should not get lost in mere details of Shastra. Oh, this is a Panchikaranam is there, Trivritkaranam is there, there are 3 Vakyas there, 4 Vakyas there, and chart we make, and in that alone people get lost. Or I will be studying more and more Shastra, and not trying to assimilate the vision. That will not help the person to get moksha. That idea also, the Shastra itself is telling that don't get lost in us. We are like forest. So, other day we went to that biosphere, that fellow is taking us, we don't know where we are going inside or we are coming outside. We didn't know. So, finally all of a sudden we came out. So, that's how it happens. So, Shastra, don't get lost. That also was presented. And very popular sentence of this Brahmana, Tametam Vedanu Vachanena Brahmanaha Vividishanti Yagnena Danena Tapasa Anashakena. So, Brahmanaha means Sattva Guna Pradhana Purushaha. The people who have got predominance of Sattva Guna, they Vividishanti. They desire to know this self. To get the desire to know the self, very intense desire, for that itself you require sadhana. What is that? Vedanu Vachanam. Reading the Shastra, learning the words of the Shastra, which is called Veda Adhyanam, what you are doing between 10:30 and 11, that Veda Adhyanam. Yajna, Panchamaha Yajnas, we have seen these Yajna, the Deva Yajna, Pitru Yajna, Brahma Yajna, Manushya Yajna, Bhuta Yajna, Danam, sharing, and Tapas. Tapas means willful self-denial to establish the mastery. Like Ekadashi, Upavasa, Jagaranam, Maunam, these are called tapas. We have got some very popular tapas in Shastra, like Chandrayana Vratam is there, Prajapatya Vratam is there, but simple tapas. And nowadays, going from work to the office with big, very heavy traffic and not getting angry, that also is tapas. So, one definition of tapas is given, Swadharmanushtanam eva tapaha. So, doing one's duty without reaction, that itself is a tapas. Alright. And then, Anashakena. Anashakena means Kamanashana Lakshanena. Means not eating in uncontrolled manner. Some people, if we ask them how many times you are eating, they have to count. Morning, this, after. So, you eat in a measured quantity. Moderation in food also is one sadhana. Alright. So, these are the sadhanas which one does, especially remaining in active field, grihasthashrama. And then one outgrows. You enter into grihasthashrama, grow, and then outgrow. One should not remain as a grihasthi mentally, at least throughout the life. One has to be grihastha, have frame of grihastha, frame of mind of grihastha, and after some time slowly develop the mind of a vanaprastha. Even if you cannot go to the forest, because nowadays forest also, where will you stay? So forest is difficult. So you remain in your house, but develop the spirit of vanaprastha. And what is the spirit of vanaprastha? Minimizing commercial activities. Earning, etc. After a certain age, you delegate, and minimizing the commercial activity and maximizing the spiritual activities, tapas, etc. Vanaprastha spirit. Then sannyasa spirit, renunciation spirit. So, Shastra says you get into the grihasthashrama if required, and then grow in this grihasthashrama, then outgrow. Go, grow, and outgrow. That is the approach of Shastra suggested here. So, putreshanaya, vitteshanaya, lokeshanayascha, vitthaya. So, sannyasa was talked about. Then again, Gnana Phalam was presented in the form of Purnatvam. Na esha nitya mahima brahmanasya na vardate karmana no kaniyan. So, the glory of this Brahmana here refers to wise person, is never increased or decreased by karma. That is called Purnatvam. Purnatvam is that which is not increased or decreased. Infinite plus any number is infinite. Infinite minus any number, infinite. So, infinite Mahima is there, glory is there of this wise person. And this person becomes free from any papa, and he becomes free from virajaha, avichikitsaha, vipapaha, free from all papa, free from all desire. And thus his Purnatvam is reflected, as Pujya Swamiji used to say, in the form of compassion, love and compassion. And when his body falls, he becomes one with limitless Brahman. So with this, the fourth Brahmana is completed. Then the fifth Brahmana is a Maitreyi Brahmana, which is the repetition of what had come in the second Adhyaya. There it was presented as the Pratigna, and here it is presented as Nigamanam, conclusion. So same Brahmana is repeated. The fifth Brahmana is the Maitreyi Brahmana, which is repetition. And the last Brahmana is Vamsha Brahmana, where again this description of the lineage of the Shishya and Guru, the teachers and student, is presented to express the gratitude. There it was given at the end of the Madhukanda. Madhukanda Parampara was given. Here it is given as the expression of gratitude to the teaching of this Munikanda. So that was in the context of Madhukanda. After the second chapter, here it is as the expression of gratitude of this Madhukanda, and it is description is similar. And the message given is that this knowledge is time-tested knowledge, and it is beginning from this Brahma himself, and therefore it is valid. And Brahmane Namaha, to that Adi Guru Brahma Paramatma, our Namaskara. With this, sixth Brahmana is completed, fourth chapter is completed. Then tomorrow we'll start fifth chapter and then sixth chapter. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namah.